I think this is a controversial topic. That's what I've been told. I think I just live in another universe, so this just seems like normal to me. But I remember when we were first getting married, and the thought of you being on birth control was like really, really hard for me, which probably sounds really dumb to like most people, but this is coming from a person who I am like really paranoid about any kind of chemicals or anything that is put into a person's body, and this is something you're doing daily, like every single day, and that freaked me out a lot. I didn't even research anything. I didn't know. This was just like thoughts that were in my head as you were like going to the doctor right before we were going to get married. So what was that experience like going and getting that? Did you feel weird about
Well, I honestly felt fine about it because I had been suggested that I should be on birth control before for other reasons, not birth control related, but hormonal. And so I thought, oh, this is like a win-win. I'm getting married, so that's kind of what you do. And then I might have these problems taken care of at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that was not the case at all.
I guess I didn't realize it, but you were saying that a lot of girls are just on birth control, even when they're kids, basically, to
Yeah,
solve...
so a lot of people go on birth control for any kind of hormonal imbalance, or for acne even, which
Right.
now that I've had an experience with birth control, I'm not necessarily like anti-birth control in all cases, but gosh, if you don't have like a real serious reason, it really messed me up.
Yeah, I remember you like being really moody or just you just didn't seem like yourself anymore. And it was like kind of a gradual change. And then at some point I remember thinking one day like, what is her problem? Why does she, and then...
I was crazy. Like,
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
I felt a little crazy. I felt crazy because I was not really an anxious person before.
Yeah.
But I was very anxious. I was very on edge all the time. All of those hormonal issues that I mentioned before, they were like worse instead of better.
I'm the kind of person who and I know that there's different people on the spectrum of like what they think about birth control. I'm not on this. Some birth control, I think there's some birth controls that I would consider like just like not right, and then others are better than others. But I've like, I remember growing up struggling with the thought of, and this isn't even something that I was ever taught. Like nobody even talked to me about this, but just wondering if birth control itself, any form of it, was good. And that's
on a moral or
moral. And it's still something that I honestly think about, but it's not like I don't think that I am killing a child. Let's put it that way. It's something that I think about. But regardless, all that to say, I didn't want you to be on it anymore at all. Like again, it worried me.
And for good reason. In my personal opinion, birth control is never safe. Like, I know there's lots of people who might use birth control for medical reasons and they have no issues at all. It might even help them in some ways. But just like with most medications, there are side effects. And so if you are not taking those side effects into account, you really should be, because I learned the hard way that side effects are real and they are terrible. And yes, so I knew there came a point where I was like, I am losing my mind. I have to get off this stuff. I think this is the problem. So I started researching because I was like, I want to get off this, but I don't necessarily want to get pregnant right away. And so I was like, there has to be other options. And so I started researching, and I honestly was like, why did I not know this before?
Right, why did we not research this before?
But I got on the natural family planning, that black hole on YouTube and the internet. But for me, even that made me feel much better about it. But at the same time, I was like, there's all these calculations that you have to do, and there's all these different methods and ways of like knowing your fertility, and there's like a book that's like this thick that you should read. And I was like, this is overwhelming. I'm gonna miscalculate. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And so I kept researching, and I found an app that does all the work for you.
And this isn't sponsored I know this might sound like a sponsorship, but this is not sponsored. It's called Natural Cycles, isn't that what it's called? Basically, know the exact times that you like can and can't get pregnant, just like naturally. Somehow that makes me feel a little better. You know what I mean? Than like just forcing your body to not be able to do something. I know I'm a guy. I am hugely in the minority when it probably comes to that, but it's pretty cool actually because you have to basically take your temperature like almost every day at the same time, like as soon as you wake up, and you like can't move too much. You just like take your temperature.
I've been doing this so long that it's kind of like second nature. I literally sometimes don't even remember taking my temperature in the morning because sometimes I'll do it and then I'll fall back asleep and then I'll wake up an hour later and be like, did I take my temperature? So it's actually really, really easy. And in a lot of ways, I like it so much better. Not only does it have no side effects, but I feel so much more in control. And honestly, I have like less anxiety about like, could I be pregnant? I don't know. Like, I felt like when I was taking a pill, I was like, what if I did get pregnant? This isn't gonna be accurate. And then I'm taking a pill. Is that like gonna mess things up? Like, it was just so much anxiety around it. It's like if something did happen, everything would be fine. It would be safe. It would be no big deal. Like. And I just.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
I wouldn't be like harming myself or a baby by putting medicines in my body
I see.
while I'm pregnant of like hormones that I'm not supposed to be putting in there. But then I also just feel like I just understand what's going on with that cycle.
It's just natural. It's more natural, and that's always what I've always thought about since I was a kid, was just trying to do stuff more the natural way. And I mean, you were that way too and stuff. And so I'm just really glad we found this. I didn't know if other people had, if you're like getting married soon. I know that a lot of our audience is more of like in the like Christian community or whatever. So if you're getting married, and obviously this is like not really stuff that your parents want to talk about that more, not that they don't want to, but it doesn't come up, you know? So if you're kind of in that spot where you're going to get married soon or, you know, whatever, and you feel weird like we did. You
don't know what to do.
Just like you can look into this stuff. You don't have to do it or anything like that, but if you're wanting other options, there are other options that are very safe. And obviously this can be controversial because people are like, you're gonna tell like a 15-year-old girl who's messing around with her boyfriend to not take a pill every day. And I mean,
we're not even going there.
That's a world I don't even can't even comprehend. If you're getting married and this is something you're thinking about, this is an option, is this app that we use that we like a lot.
And it's actually cleared by the FDA now as a source of birth control. So I feel like it's extremely reliable. It's also really easy to just switch over. Say we woke up tomorrow and we're like, we want to have a baby. Like, I can use the same information, whether I want to get pregnant or I don't want to get pregnant. It's the same information. It's not having to switch. Yeah. And for me, it was actually a lot cheaper. I just pay for the whole year at once, but I feel like it's about $8 a month. Yeah. To use this app. So I can't say enough good things about it. Yeah. I highly recommend it.
Anyways, I guess that's all we have to say. It's kind of awkward, but I just want, it's something people don't really talk about all the time, so thought we would. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.